database design, database engine, database and application architecture, database user and administrators, history of database system, and so on. You're welcome. Let's see the start of the chapter 1. Preface is not important. The sections that I pass are not important for you, that you can ignore them. Okay, so this is the beginning of chapter 1. Here we can see the definition for database management system. A database management system, or in brief DBMS, is a collection of interrelated data and a set of programs to access those data. The collection of data, usually referred to as the database, contains information relevant to an enterprise. The primary goal of a DBMS is to provide a way to store and retrieve database information that is both convenient and efficient. There are some points in this paragraph that you have to pay attention. First of all, you can see the definition of the database, that is an environment for uh, storing and retrieving your data inside, which is containing information relevant to your personal data or your enterprise, your company, or something else. The most important purpose of a DBMS is store and retrieve database information. And we have to consider that both aims, convenience, and efficiency are so important for us to be considered. We know that the information is an important thing that should be considered for organizations, computer scientists, and all people. In fact, the scientists have developed many techniques and many solutions for managing data. These concepts and techniques that are explained in this ebook are related to all efforts and concepts needed by this data scientist. So in this ebook, in this course, you will learn about how uh, you will learn how it is possible to manage your data. It is one of the most important issues. This course is not an advanced database. You will have the course advanced database in the next semester probably. But for now, this is an introduction to database. It is a preliminary concept. Okay, database system applications. If you develop a software application which can work and which can be integrated with a database, so this software application is a database system application. Recently, there have been many efforts in this regard related to develop database applications. So if you want to be as an if you want to be a developer, database developer, you have to firstly learn the concepts related to database applications, and afterwards, when you are expert in database concepts and when you can understand and realize the database appropriately, you will be able to develop database applications. The modern applications try to use the latest technology in database applications, but um, we will try to do our best in this course to learn the most of concepts related to database applications. Database systems are used to manage collection of data that are highly valuable, are relatively large, and are accessed by multiple users and applications, often at the same time. So, when you are facing to such conditions, it is needed for you to use database systems. Probably you will face to a complexity which will be a challenge in front of you during working the database. So it is necessary to consider an abstraction for working properly with the database. Abstraction allows a person to use a complex device or system without having to know the details of how that device or system is constructed. So please keep in mind these definitions so that in the future, if I use the expression of abstract in my speech, you can understand about it. Once again, I will describe about the concept of abstraction. Abstraction allows a person to use a complex device or system without having to know the details of how that device or system is constructed. So it is the responsibility of the person to clarify that complexity. Here you can see some kinds of enterprise information, for example, sales. In the field of sales, for customer, product, and purchase information, you can find different kinds of information, including for accounting, human resources, and so on. For example, for accounting, you have to consider some considerations for payments, recipients, account balances, assets, and other accounting information. In the area of human resources, consider that you can see some information about employees, salaries, payrolls, tax, and benefits, and for generation of paychecks. All of them need all of them need um, the special kind of information as enterprise information. Another aspect of enterprise information is manufacturing. For management of the supply chain and for tracking production of items in factories, investors of items in warehouses and stores and orders for items. In base of aspects of banking and finance. For example, in banking, for customer information, accounts, loans, and banking transactions, you will use enterprise information. In credit and transactions, for purchases on credit cards and generation of monthly statements. In the finance, for storing information about holding, sales, and purchases of financial instruments such as stocks and bonds. Also for storing real-time market data to enable online trading by customers and automated trading by the firm. Once again, I welcome to everybody and hello and say hello to you and good morning to you. So let me continue. Universities, for example, consider that at the universities, um, for student information, course registrations, and grades, in addition to standard enterprise information such as human resources and accounting. In other industry like airlines, for reservation and schedule information, airlines were among the first to use databases in a geographically distributed manner. In the industry of telecommunication, for keeping records of calls, texts, and data usage. It means that when you want to keep, store, and retrieve your data from text messages, from the call stories, and so on, you will need to store all of these data in a database. For generating monthly bills, maintaining balances on prepaid calling cards, and storing information about the communication networks. For providing web-based services, social media, online retailers, and online advertisements we have. For example, on social media, for keeping records of users, connections between users, reports made by users, rating like information about posts. All of them are as data and should be stored on local database. Online retailers for keeping records of sales data and orders as for any retailer, but also for trackers tracking a user's product views such as search terms and etc. for the purpose of identifying the best item to recommend to that user. So if you have an online shop, online store, it is needed for you to manage your data online, and for managing your data, it is necessary to use a database. So we can conclude that using a database is completely crucial, vital, and it is so necessary for us to use a database. A database is an important place for us to save your data. If you want to develop some database applications, you will need to learn about programming skills. So, the way for interconnecting between a, a front end side of an application and a database side is a programming section. So, if you want to utilize and employ what you need from the database, you need to program. You need to learn programming skills. Broadly speaking, there are two modes in which databases are used. The first one is to support online transaction processing, and the second mode is to support data analytics. Okay, if you want, you can take a breath, and I need to get rest for a couple of minutes, and then I will return to you to continue the course for this session. So, if you want to get rest, you can do it now for a couple of minutes, but stay connected and wait here uh, so that I can return to you.